Welcome back to Cool Clubs Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at Callaway's new Pro Series line. This is the MB, the blade.
Right, this is obviously the least forgiving one, the asphalt blade. Most of the tour players we play in the short clubs.
Yep.
Some of them play them, further up. But what's really cool about this whole set is, they all match nicely. They all look the same. They're relatively close as far as distances and stuff, so they're all blend pretty well.
Yeah. The blade's got a couple of little features. It's really hard to see. You won't even see it on the camera almost. You've got to get it in your hand.
Right.
You're like looking at the bottom edge, and the sole's pretty flat and slim. And as you tilt it, you can see there's a real big, they've blunted the leading edge itself.
Yes, yeah. Basically, it's kind of like what you see on the Strixons and stuff. It's just blended really nicely.
Yeah, and a much smaller version of it.
Yeah, it's obviously not as wide a sole to begin with. But yeah, you can see that. It's definitely got a little camber in the front there.
Yep.
Probably the first 2/3 or 1/3 of it.
Yep.
But that seems to have worked for, obviously worked for Strixon. They came out of nowhere with that, and they actually accentuate it by making it so visible.
Yep.
But that is a great way to make the turf interaction better.
And I think it just opens it up for a few more players. Someone who's a little steeper might get away with a few more shots.
Right. And typically, surprisingly enough, most of the tour players are actually steeper than the average decent low handicap. Yep. So they do hit down on it quite a bit sometimes.
They just get away with it because they're moving the club so fast.
Exactly.
It breaks
they're
everything
strong
up.
enough to put it through the ground and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Great shape. I love it. Really soft edges. I mean, satiny kind of finish, not high polished chrome. I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. And the weight, we did talk about this a little earlier.
Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic to be able to change this weight. And it does two things, right? So it's also, not only does it adjust the swing weight, and obviously you can go up and down, and they're all the same ones apparently. So if you get a kit of these, you can mess with whatever swing weight you want. The other thing too is it's obviously a relatively soft material, so it does do some shock absorption as well. So there's some dampening effect of it as well. So it's kind of two uses for it.
Yeah, being able to swing weight and just get that whole set just fully consistent. Is
that's huge. I love that.
Builder's dream.
Why everybody doesn't do that, to some extent, is beyond me.
I see it coming.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers. We run the 90-mile-an-hour test on all of these heads, and then we also run the 80-mile-an-hour test on the Pro, because that's like the one that's going to cross over.
Yeah, it could cross over for sure.
And this is right in the middle. It's hard to talk much about the 90-mile-an-hour test, but now we have got a few of them. Head to our website to the reviews section. You'll be able to compare them online. As we do always see, this is a good grouping, right? Tight dispersion.
Yep.
A little drop off when you get to the bottom, and all of these things kind of spin a bit more than most because they've got a lot of loft on them. So
right.
the thin ones probably just.
Plus those numbers are spin launch on we're looking at too. We got to remember this is 90 miles an hour, so they're probably a good 30% higher than the same club at an 80 mile an hour. So.
And I gave us a little cheat sheet, so we can see that the spin launch here at 324 is mid, essentially.
Right. Yep.
Stopping power at 4.2 is very good. And tour performance, as you'd hope, I think we peak out around 4.7 or 4.6 on a couple of the blades. 6
is as high as you possibly can get.
Yeah. So this is right up there.
Yep.
And the yardage, at this point, you're not looking for yardage. So.
No, it's relatively long, though, for a relatively straight-looking blade, not a lot of technology, no hot faces, although a bit probably in the Pro Series. But, you're talking about 175, and they're all like 176, 174, 173, so they can all be blended, no problem.
And that's the
nice.
case. Right, it doesn't matter what
but they're
this
not short. By any means. It's one of the longer blades out there.
No, it doesn't matter what this one does necessarily. It just matters that if you're going to blend them,
right,
which is what they've done a really good job of, they all kind of flow together.
Yeah, I could definitely see mixing almost all 3 sets of these.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, thanks.